Hi, welcome back. I'm Baz. This is iSharpen, and today I'm sharpening a forged cleaver which has been damaged by incorrect use. Now, the owner wasn't aware that it was a little bit fragile. I'll show you how thin it is and how it measures in a minute. But basically, this was used to try and hack through lamb bones. And you can see the result is pretty destructive. However, we can fix that. First, let me show you. Right, you can see here, pretty mangulated. Right, so it's very thin. It's not super thin, it's about 0.29 of a mil. Right behind the edge, 28 maybe. And I think that by the time we finish, it should still be a respectable 30 something, I hope. So what I'm going to do is head over to the sanding machine behind you, take that edge off, which is sadly the only thing we can do, re-grind it, re-sharpen it. It should be good as new. Come and watch. So that's a bit better. And I just ran it along the grinder a little bit, on the sander a little bit along the edge to try and thin it out. Just a little bit. It's not properly thinned, but it might help a little bit. Now that I've got the 1x30, technically I could give this a convex edge by using the slack. And you know, I'd like to give that a try, just to see if I can manage it. So let's try that. If I fail, I can always back up onto the T8. So first, I'll bring you over. Let's start off with something a bit coarse. Now, I haven't learnt my belts yet, but let's try the 240 grit blue. I don't know what this type of belt is. Maybe you can tell me. Practice the move. Okay, it's a bit cramped here, but we'll see how we go. Spinning at about 2000 RPM. Now I can see the burr coming up. In fact, we do have a burr there. This is actually the first time I've ever done this. It looks all right. can see the burr there very pronounced because I'm doing this edge trailing, which means the belt is moving off the blade, not in towards the edge. But we'll shine that up a bit. That was quick, wasn't it? Of course, the same test will apply. It's got to slice through a cigarette rolling paper and look attractive. This belt is about 800 grit. Looks good. Not heating it up very much. I can feel a little bit of heat there, but not too much. Looks pretty even. I've got a pretty steady hand, I think, because I'm so used to the angle and the movement and all that, but if I'm doing this wrong, forgive me. We'll see what happens at the end. All right. So this is what it looks like after the 800. Not bad. I think we could do better. I've certainly got the belts for it. So what else can we put on there? What's this? This one is the 2500. Whoa, that's a bit of a step. Let's see how we go. We get some shine going. Barely warm. That's good. That's very nice. So 2500. Not bad. Look at that burr. You can play with it. It's ready to come off. But that's not all. I think I've got an even higher grit. 4,000. Let's try that, just for a laugh. Bit of vibration there. I should fit the Cliff Curry wheel. Now, I even have a leather belt, which I'm sure is supposed to have some compound on it. However, I just want to try it raw. This is probably bovine, cow. I just want to see what happens. Oh, before we go there, show you what the 4000 looks like. Not bad. Pretty sporty. Feels pretty sharp. Feels pretty sharp, but I can still see stopping on the fingernail, but I can still see some burr there. Oh, which I was able to wipe off with the microfiber. Looks pretty good to me. Let's see if it cuts without stropping, without anything, although that leather wheel there was technically stropping. No. Let me try from this angle. Yeah, sort of ish. Let's try some kangaroo tail. This is without going to the compound wheel here, which is another thing I could try. Jeez. Not bad. Started off well. Getting there. I might give it a quick zip on the leather honing wheel with the 8000 grit. See if that can improve it. I have no idea what angle this is, but it looks correct. I know the customer's watching this because I told them I would film the procedure. See if that helped. Bit teary towards the end. Let's give it another strop. See if that helps. Great entry. Not bad. That's not a bad entry. Got good glidage. And what do you reckon about that? I think that's a done deal. Let's have a look here in front of the light. What do you think? I like it. Is he here? Yeah, he's here. Magnificent. Wonder how it measures. 38. Not too bad. I've seen worse. Test it on some magazine paper. Well, I think that's a result. Not bad. You were here for my first ever cleaver sharpening using the 1x30 Vevor. I'm happy, and I'm happy because cleavers need a convex edge. So the edges have to be curved in order to give them a little bit more strength. It's got some good sound. Let's see if we can see that curve of the edge. You can see the reflections curving around. Not bad. I'm happy with that. You happy with that? So what does this mean now? After all my criticism of belt sanders, have I become a belt sander now? Well, my main concern was overheating, because I've seen some that came to me that were almost blue. You could see they were like a slight tan, and you could tell that they had been overheated. But in my case, because I was aware of that and I was touching it all the time, it barely even got warm, even with the sparks over there. Now, sparks generally, red hot is red hot. You know, it doesn't matter if it's there or there, it's come off and it's red hot. But it seems to have done a pretty good job. This is not a bad cleaver, actually. It's forged, roughly hewn. It has a signature which I put into ChatGPT, and it says it's pretty much just a it says forged in fire or forged or something like that. So yeah, it's blue steel. I reckon that's going to be a good cleaver for them. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Very happy with that. That's the result. See you in the next one.